Hello, welcome back to, oh, I didn't mean to shoot that. Welcome back to Bloodborne on PC. Running at 60 FPS, sometimes, using the Lance McDonald patch, who's the GOAT, and the Shad PS4 emulator, of course. A couple days ago I posted a video showing progress and being able to actually like walk around, but now I'm actually able to use my Xbox controller, because I used ReWASD, or ReWASD, to remap it to a PS4 controller. And then the Lance McDonald patch, patching the eboot.bin file, and then a little tweak in DSMapStudio to Central Yarnum to make it run better on my end. And then the Discord found a fix for kind of the crashing after dying and like not being able to get to the Hunter's Dream, which obviously we're in now. It still looks kind of jacked up, obviously, and you're having like this weird highlighting, and the specular's weird. And let's try to load the first floor sick room. Let's see what happens. It might crash. It's pretty crashy with the 60 FPS patch. But I wanted to update y'all on sort of where we're at with the emulation. And it's pretty great, though. One of the fixes the Discord found for the crashing after death and just kind of general crashing was the draw params. Weirdly enough, if you go into your Bloodborne game folder, under param and then draw params, you'll see the G params, which, yeah, that happens sometimes. There's a weird decal. That's new. Okay, I don't remember seeing that. And if you delete those, basically the maps will use a default one that's in the files, called default gparam, which is how like DS1 has a default one, DS2, DS3. They all have a default gparam, they call it, for or draw param for DS1, gparam, or filter for DS2, and then they called them gparams for Bloodborne, DS3, and onward. But we are in Central Yarnum. Once it crashes, or maybe if it doesn't crash, I'll show you what I did in DSMapStudio, which I will post on Nexus mods, because it's a good way to boost performance. I turned off shadowcasting, and I deleted a bunch of point lights in Central Yarnum, so it runs better, which is sort of goofy. I just was like, oh, that's a good idea. I should probably do that, because right now it's pretty touchy. Pretty touchy. As you can see, the FPS goes from like up and down and all around. Oh yeah, wasn't this the... Couldn't I go the other way? No, I was trying to get the Cleric Beast. As you can see, it's not drawing the particle effects. So like the item drops, you can't see. Also, I don't know why I have this little decal connected to my character at the moment. And then now my hood looks weird. I think that's the blood splatter that it's having trouble rendering. Oh yeah, it's like rolling with me now. Oh god. Let's go up the ladder. Yeah, it really just kind of crashes at random times now. But once it crashes, I will show you what I did in DSMapStudio and what I can do in the future. I plan to do a little bit more to kind of help stability. It's all short-term stuff because like we're not going to need it once emulation gets better and more accurate. But in the short term, it could help performance. And there's already been people on the Discord that have used the map. Oh god, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Oh man, we are living here, ladies and gents. We are absolutely living. But yeah, basically it crashes at seemingly completely random times. Sometimes it'll crash during Cleric Beast. And it used to just crash upon death and... Oh, shit, ow. Hey, who shot me? Did someone shoot? Okay, it's getting progressively worse. These are issues I have not seen before. I'm loving that. Also, my parry doesn't work consistently. I don't really know why. Okay, let's use our little whip here. Alright, bitch ass. I'm going to put an epilepsy warning, like, text on the beginning of this video, because yikes. It is rough in Yarnum, let me tell you. Kind of cool though. The vibe is the vibes are technically off, but also pretty cool. These are new. I've never seen whatever the fuck is happening to my character right now. This is new. I've been playing with this emulator for the past couple days, and yeah, this is new. I do not know what is happening. The fact that it's not crashing is pretty funny. Ooh, quicksilver bullets, thank you. Oh, you're gonna try to jump my ass. Nope. Ah, you're gonna try to jump my ass. Okay. My Bloodborne memory is a little bit off. Oops, search body. Bloodstone shard. Oh shit, nice. My idea for DSMapStudio, which I'll show you once it crashes. I'm gonna like delete grass, and then there's some of these like bricks that are extra little clutter added on top. I should be able to delete those and just delete any extra geo that we don't absolutely have to render. And then there's even like fake distant meshes, of course, that I should be able to delete. And if I can just lower the rendering load in any way possible, I've already lowered it a little bit by getting rid of point lights, and I turned off all shadow casting for basically fucking everything in the game in Central Yarnum. That helped. That boosted performance a little bit. Because right now we're having, it's very much likely, oh, fuck my ass. Okay, you guys kind of like appeared out of nowhere. It's also funny, once you hit the enemies, it then loads like the actual textures for them. Before then, they're like black, so I don't know what that's about. Basically what I'm saying is, if you dropped acid and then played this, it'd be pretty sick. Like right now, I feel like I have ascended. This is actually, fun fact, this is how the Great Ones actually see the world. Just so you know. This is how they see the world at all times. This is, oh, there's the crash. There's the crash. We got it. We did it. All right, I'm still recording, thank God. Yeah, let's load up. Let's load up DSMapStudio. I will show you what I'm calling, as a joke, Bloodborne Demastered. Is I had an idea of like, well, shit, okay, performance isn't great. How can I help that on my end? With my little knowledge that I have. What can I do? So what I did is basically, when you're looking at the map here, there are a bunch of point lights. There were like 20, I want to say, that they use to like illuminate different things. Or like a chest, or they'll use it just for a lot of different things. They love their blue point lights specifically. And I just went through, and you can select it and delete it. So I deleted them. There were about 20. What the fuck is, oh, is that the big ball? Why is that down here? I do not know. Oh, is that the drop point for it? Oh, okay. But yes. I picked the point lights, I deleted them, and then I also, you can select the map pieces. On the left here, you can see under parts, there are enemies, map pieces, and objects. And I went through each one of them. Now map pieces are, you'll see the object typed up here. I basically, you can look, and most all of them are already, you see shadow source and shadow destination. Basically 99% of them or more had their shadow source already turned off because they use baked lighting, right? It's all done through the light map, which is smarter and the ideal way of doing it, right? To save performance. But they did have their shadow destination turned on. So if there was a dynamic shadow or something being cast by basically anything else, or the player, that shadow could be shown on that, the staircase here, for instance. But if you turn that off, then the shadow won't be able to be displayed on it. And so you can kind of save performance that way. Now the objects, basically anything that's destructible, generally had their shadow casting turned on, because you kind of need that when you destroy an object. It's moving, so you need the shadows to update, right? And so that's why you would obviously have shadow source turned on. So I turned all those off. And then the enemies, I turned that off as well. And so that saved performance. I got a pretty good boost. I posted it on the Discord, and I should post it on Nexus mods as well. Because I'm going to do a little bit more too and delete some grass. Like this grass here, if you delete it, that just saves a little bit of performance, and it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect the collision. It's not going to affect how the game plays. It's just going to look a little bit worse, but the game's already busted looking, so like that's not really an issue anymore. Beyond that, I plan to delete some of these fake meshes. So you can see here like really low texture. That's basically a low poly version of what we're looking at. And they'll use that for if you're like on a different part of the map, and in the distance they'll have this really low poly version that they'll use based on the draw groups. And I can just delete that because it's not going to affect the actual functioning of the game. It's not going to save a ton of polygons because, as you can tell, it's a much lower polygon version than what's actually there. It doesn't even have the shutters on the low poly version, which makes perfect sense from the distance you're at, and the lower resolution textures as well, which they store separately. But I should be able to delete those, and it'll look weird from a distance, but it also won't really fucking matter. Yes, you'll see here's another one. This one actually is not covering up a real one underneath. It looks like this one they were actually just using as a... Oh, shit. Yeah, this is... Oh, wow. That's a jumbo-ass one. Oh, I'll definitely delete that one. Oh, that's going to save some polygons. That's going to save some gons right there. Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll definitely delete that one. Oh, sorry, Amygdala. You're in the way. I'll delete that one as well. So just stuff like that you can delete certain map pieces that are not going to affect how the game functions. I think here's another distant one. Yeah. Oh, we have just a big floor texture floating out here. That's weird. Yeah, this is all just for distance. How it looks at a distance. When you're walking around Yharnam, you could look this way, and a certain angle, this would look like another town or another part of Yharnam that you couldn't get to. Oh wow, that actually handles the mountains. Well, okay, that might be kind of funny. I might delete that too. Well, I'll play around with it. So now Yharnam will be completely floating. Kinda. Oh, you do get mountains on this side though. Well, okay. I won't delete the clouds, obviously. But I should be able to prune out whatever unused geometry, just to maximize performance wherever possible. Also, what the fuck is this? I haven't noticed this. There's a guy with a fucking cannon up here. He's not used, and it's not loaded in game, but apparently at some point they had a cannon jabroni up here. Vati, did you know about this? Did you not tell us? What's going on here? All right, chatters, people, let me know. Oh, that's dummy. Oh, it's a dummy object. No, I take that back. Okay, it's a dummy one. Yeah, the dummy ones usually control like draw groups or something. At least in DS1, they were usually used for like what to draw and when. So maybe it's an activation type thing. I don't know. Oh, there's Papa Guac. Anyway, thank you for watching this little showcase of Bloodborne 60 FPS and like some slight optimization things I'll be doing just for funsies. Yeah, like I'll delete this fake one too. Yeah, because this is used at a distance. And that way we could save some performance in different parts of Central Yharnam. That's actually going to be a lot of fun to go through and kind of delete this. And for something that won't be very useful, I might be able to mess with the LOD param as well, because that'll handle how it like deforms the geometry from a distance that it is rendering. Depending on how the LOD param works in Bloodborne versus DS1. DS1 it worked like dog shit, so like it may not be worth messing with, but maybe. We'll see. I'll see if I can mess with the LOD param. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.